Welcome, race fans from around the globe. Here they come, out of turn 4, to the white flag, and it's 1 to go.
All right, sim racing fans, welcome back to One to Go Studios. Oh, wow. Lots of things on my screen here. I've been doing a lot of work for this here as we're getting ready to run. Welcome back to One to Go Studios. I'm Harold Darner, and we are with Tyler Daniel Racing, Gas and Go from the virtual Dover International Speedway in Dover, Delaware, just outside my purview. We'll be here this weekend, Ken and I. I am in the booth by myself tonight. I do see Chris Moody just checked in and Kathy Joe. Ken does work on Sunday nights because as pastors, we work Sundays, so he works at night with his paying gig. So got about 8.5 minutes left in the qualification for the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go presented by Back Talk. And I had some things coming up because we're working on some things. Is Jim checking this out on Facebook. Here is our event sponsor. It is We Did a Thing for the Back Talk. They're available on all those channels to which you get your podcasts. It's Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Broadcast. You check those guys out over there for Back Talk. April's checking in as well. You did see the Sasquatch. I didn't know how to bring him in early. Just happened to have been playing around with him. Those of us who have been following One to Go Studios knows about our Hard Luck Award given to the first driver who's eliminated for something he did not cause. The Hard Luck Award, or the Sasquatch Award, presented by One to Go Studios. So we will pass that out tonight. Drivers who have gotten that will just have to get with us on our Facebook page. Give us a DM, their address. We'll send them out one of those coins. We got Paul checking in for Dustin. So Kathy's kind of laughing at me already. She knows how we can get. Even when I'm all by myself, as things still get calamity corners working around here. But we always like miles. Ken and I both live just outside of Dover. He's in Newcastle, and I'm in northeast city of Maryland. And about a good 45 or so to here. So we will be here starting Saturday to check out the action as NASCAR arrives to Delaware at Dover at the 1 mile, the cement 1 mile, where Miles the Monster likes to reach out and grab the cars coming off the turn number 4. So, and let's look at tonight's weather for this race. So presented by Lottie's Travelworld.com. The weather for the miles 130. Tonight is partly cloudy. Temperature 67 is 100 degrees on the track. Hot, hot, and hot. Relative humidity 44 degrees, and the winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour. It was Sharon O'Neill checking in as well. Like you guys have been checking out. If you guys have checked us out either Twitch, YouTube, or on the Facebook, like you do, subscribe to us so that you can see the action as we call here tonight for the rest of the playoffs for the Tyler Daniel Racing Gas and Go as they started a playoff here at Dover. So we have 7 weeks of coverage by One to Go Studios. And then if you also will be able to pick us up as we present Friday night racing with the split decision triple threat. And then we also produce for Area iRacing. You can check them out, areaiRacing.com, or the twitch.tv at Area iRacing. That's affiliated with Twitch, so it's directly to Twitch and nothing else. If you wanted to check that out as well. Kathy, Joe, and company checks us out there We run there Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights. In fact, we'll be heading here to Dover starting on Monday. So 5 minutes remaining in tonight's practice for the Tyler Daniel or TDR Racing Gas and Go. We're racing here tonight with the Nextel Cup car, the next gen, as you see on your Sunday. And I know people have been watching. I haven't looked yet, so please don't tell me who won. Actually, I don't care. You can tell me who won. I've been working, doing other things. I'm a graduate of Liberty University, so the 24 is my driver. Keep an eye on Willie B. Now, it looks like the McCanns are leading the pace on practice. Then Shelton and Sims. Andy filled me in. Anybody with a P behind their last name is playoff eligible. And the playoff drivers have been reset to 0 for the most part. Ross won. Okay. That's 2 for Chastain. So trying to make a mark for the playoffs himself. .340 left in practice. Looks like 18 drivers have signed in thus far. Giving a little bit information here, so we haven't covered any of the Back Talk TDR guys yet this season. They do have one fast repair available, so one off the trailer. They also are going to run 130 laps here tonight. And you have cautions by race control only. And, yeah, so it has to be a few drivers involved before they'll throw that flag. And 3 attempts at a green-white checkered if they are needed. Should be interesting racing here. Don't think we've covered the Cup. I think we might have run the Cup car here with split decision. Trying to remember. I always like this racetrack. You gotta finesse the corners, and you got those really long straightaways. All right, so we have a few viewers checking in with us. Like I said, if you have an opportunity, please do subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Let us know that you're watching. Follow us at Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch channel. Either of the 3 will work for us. Let us know that you're watching. Helps us out and lets people know what we do here at One to Go Studios. We appreciate that in advance. 140 left. There's your top 18 drivers as they're listed on the pylon. As we're looking over the Dover Downs Hotel there on the backstretch. Always wanted to have a seat in the Ally Bridge over there so I can watch the cars coming down the backstretch underneath me. Thought that would be really a great place to watch one of these races. That's awesome. And Trevor definitely would be, or Travis Beckner, sorry, would be happy, I'm sure, being another Florida guy with the watermelons. Love the watermelon thing with Chastain. About 49 seconds left here, and then we'll get to qualifying. 2 laps, individual qualifying to set the field. Like I said, if you have not seen this before, underneath the One to Go Studios emblem in the upper right-hand corner, we will throw out the fastest lap. So as it happens, you'll see that pop up. You'll see our graphics to the left there for the pylon, which will be where they are on the racetrack. When a caution comes out, the One to Go Studios will turn a nice yellow color to let you know that a caution has been called on the raceway. And then we'll try to get to you some action on the track to see what may have brought out the yellow flag. And if you needed me to check on a driver, or you have a favorite driver, I'd like to see that in the chat so we can keep an eye on everybody as they go around. But 18 cars going to hit qualifying now as we switch gears from practice to qualification. Let's see here. 18 drivers have taken on registration. Looks like we got one car out on the racetrack here in Mr. McCain. There he is there. A couple things we do here at One to Go Studios is we put their helmets. That's the helmets that they're racing with. It should be identical to the one that they're put on the car. We'll have to check in on that, but that looks about right to me. And we'll show you their cars in the grid as well. As the number 33 is getting ready to take his first lap on the raceway. McCain, as you see, there's the fastest lap. First driver puts himself on P1 with 22.871. Looking for a second lap here. And second lap for Mr. McCain. A 22.791 will keep him on the pole at the moment. See who else we got here. We got Mr. Brazo. He's done qualifying. There's Andy out here now, Mr. Schroner. And his number 7 ride. And we got Janelle checking in. Good luck to Dustin. First lap here for Andy. It's like 23.705 puts him in the 11th spot. Number 1 of Bisnet. So we had another driver add himself. So we 19 drivers assigned to race tonight. The number 1 bringing that first lap in. Posted 23.387. Put him in 8th spot, number 1. Last lap there for Mr. Bisnet puts him into the 6th spot. Trumbley now on the raceway in the number 96. And really close off that wall off of turn 4. It looks like a lot of our drivers have elected to not. Oh, we got one here, Trumbley, who's we're looking at, and yep, waiting for other drivers here. About 2 seconds left, and now we can set the grid. All right, so the grid for tonight. Apologize for the graphics here because we're using nicknames. Nicknames in my ATVO, they're not participating with each other right at the moment. And on the pole here is Mr. McCain, K. McCain, and B. McCain are pole 1 and 2. Inside of row number 2 is Mr. Shelton. Outside of him is Sims. And we have Rule and Bisnet in row number 3. Row 4 is Burley and Veldhusen. And McDonald and Downham will be in row number 5. And in row number 6, we have the J. Downman. And then Andy Schroner is in the 12th spot outside of row 6. Inside row 7, Mr. Hunt. Outside him is Brazo. Trumley and Richards will be in 15th and 16th in row number 8. And running out the back here is Luke DeJardins and Mr. Cochran. So that is 18 drivers who are ready to go out and do battle for the miles 130. 130 laps at the 1 mile concrete oval here at Dover Motor Speedway. The pace car bringing them off onto the racetrack. Like 17 of the 18 drivers have come out onto the racetrack. Looks like the 56 of Benjamin Richards has not made it to the racetrack. He's starting in the pits. Not sure where he's at. Lights are off on the pace car, so he should be going to green flag racing as he dumps off just before they get to turn number 4. Green flag in the air, ready to go racing. As Back Talk presents TDR Gas and Go playoff race number 1, the miles 130. And here we go. Number 3 taking the early lead as McCain's are 1 and 2, the 3 and the 33. The 99 now moving himself up. That's Shelton into the 3rd spot, doing battle on the outside of K. McCain. Lap number 2 of the 130 in the books. B. McCain fastest on the track, 23.023. Whoa, a little bit of contact in the back there. About 4th position between Shelton and Sims. As I said, caution is brought out by the race control. As we're going to rack and stack here, we'll go back to that early caution there. They're riding on top of the 59. The J. Downham. Like Hunt, Schroner, Brazier, Downham, and Trumbley all involved here. We'll look for the contact. And bring it around. Oh, a little bit of, right there. A little bit of help, and a lot of people collected here right at the stripe coming off of turn number 4. All right, the drivers do have the one faster pair and have not seen anyone take that yet. Right, closing speed, I guess, on these cars is going to be a little bit of an issue because we saw that they're coming off of turn 4. The contact made and sending one of the cars around. And this is not a very wide racetrack. Once the car gets turned around, it makes it very difficult to get around them. As long as we're going straight ahead, good 2 and 3 wide racing here. As soon as the car turns sideways, tends to bog the track down some. All right, looks like Mr. Trumbley was in the 96, took a faster pair, as well as Mr. Shelton and Andy Schroner as well. So 3 drivers taking a new car out of the trailer to get back out on the racetrack early. As we're down 6 laps of 130. Everyone's still on the lead lap. Everyone's still in the race that started. 17 drivers. Lights are off of the pace car. We'll go back to green flag with the McCain's inside out. Now flipped from the original start. The 3 on the inside, 33 on the outside. All right, back to green flag. The 3 coming up in front of the 33 to ensure he keeps the lead. At the 47, Jay Sims now in the 3rd spot. Up into the wall. That looked like the 79 of Mr. Rule, the 3rd. The 3 and the 33, and Jay Sims and that 47 in the top 3 positions. We'll go back here to the number 12, heating up there, the 23. But further in the back here, about 7th and 8th. Fastest time, Kate McCain now in the 33. Top 3 breakaway. We need to work laps in now, 10 of 130. Starting to separate a little bit here. Back in the 9th spot. Lots of cars. 4-pack here. Oh, sliding around there was Mr. Burlew. Oh, somebody into the wall. That's the 17, and then another one around in the 47 of Sims. Caution is out. We'll try to catch that. I believe that was Jay Sims. We'll try to get down. We'll keep an eye on Jay Sims right here. Into the wall once. Oh, up in the wall. Right here. Back down. And no one else got into him. That's good. A couple of drivers did evasive action, and the evasive action took them into the area here. So we got guys coming down pit lane now. All right, so 2 cautions early in. We're at 14 laps of the 130, right at the 10% mark with 2 cautions in. And a lot of drivers already have used their 1 faster pair. We'll see who else has. The McCains have stayed out. Rule, Bisnet, and Brazo all stay out. Down pit lane now, a few drivers. Sims, McDonald, Downham, Schroner, Hunt, and Cochran all down in the pit lane right now. It's like Hunt just took a faster pair. Dowman his as well. And Sims. About half the field is taken. There's 1 faster pair, or basically a new car. As we're in lap 15 of the 130. Pace car lights are on, so leading us around a few more laps. I'd like to thank Back Talk. You can check them out on any of those podcast channels: YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You check those guys out. A little wacky group of guys. Back Talk, BACC Talk, and you check those guys out. They're sponsoring the TDR Gas and Go playoffs, which is race number 1. Again, the guys with the P next to their name are playoff eligible, as we have 7 races to decide a champion. All right, pace car back out of the way. We'll start back with 16 down of the 130. The McCains both in landing 1-2 fashion here. Looks like that was Luke DeJarnan's coming off of pit lane. He's a lap down. So the 3 and the 33, this time with a big breakaway, about 8/10 over the 3rd place driver of Mr. Rule the third. In that number 79. Looking for some action here. Looks like the 96 giving chase to the number 91 as we see that Ford Cobra checking out the back of the Logitech number 1 of Mr. Business. That's Trumley and Bisnet. Looks like Sims now on the move. Passing a few drivers here. That number 89 or 69 of Mr. Hunt. Trumley still getting in, trying to find a way around the number 1 Logitech. Sims now has his sights set on the 23. 23 into the wall, takes them both to the inside. And around the 41 goes, and that's going to be the end of his, or the 47, sorry, of Sims. Looks like because he's already used his fast repair, that's going to be the end of his night. Try to get that on replay for you. The 47 again here. Oh, the 47 here chasing the 23. The 23 is going to come off the wall, collect them both, and then some more cars behind finishing him off. Ends the night early for the 47 of Sims. And Sims has called it a night, is disconnected. So Sims' first driver out for the night. Getting ready to go back racing here. Lead has the leaders remaining the same here. Top three have yet to come down pit lane. Fifth and sixth as well. Top three clean driving. Haven't really gotten anything. We're down to 16 drivers as we're 22 laps into the 130. All right, so again, 22 laps of the 130 have been done, so we'll be looking for the pace car to shut those lights off. We got one car a lap down. That's the number 10 of Luke DeJarden. And the top 14 drivers all on the lead lap. A few cars with cars left in the garage ready if needed. Still waiting for the pace car to get the all clear from race control. We'll pace him another lap here. 23 of 130. Waiting for the pace car to drop the lights. The lights are still on. We'll have at least another lap of pacing. All right, pace car's lights are out, so we've gotten approval from race control to bring the cars back down to get back to green flag racing. Front two haven't changed. The 3 and at 33. Onto the back stretch so we can get ready to go one more time at this. Waiting for the pace car to make that hard left-hand turn into the pits. Here he goes. Waiting for the flag man. And the 3 and a 33 to get us back underway. 24 laps will be done. 3 slides up the 33. 2 by now going just to single file. There's somebody coming out of the pits here. Number 7 of Andy Schroner. All right, gonna look around 26 laps of the 130 being run here. Approaching up to about 1/5 done, about 20% down. Top 14 drivers all on the lead lap. The top 3 in your view there. McCain, and Shelton. Stu McCain's been up there the whole night. And now another caution has come out. Do the 69. Keep an eye on him here, is what my indications is saying. Gives a little loose, gives a little help, and around he goes. Miles continues to wreak havoc here at the Monster Mile. McCain's leading the way, back under caution with 28 laps in. And to shout out to all of our spectators tonight. Help us out. Let us know who you're rooting for. Help us out with the broadcast. Let us know who is your favorite driver, your favorite paint scheme you might be looking at if you're just checking in. Remind everybody to subscribe so you don't miss any of the racing action. As we are now looking at putting in the 29th lap here of the 130. And the 33, the 3 and the 33 have been leading the front 2 from the majority of the race tonight. All right, still waiting for the pace car to get the okay from race control to get us stacked and ready to go under green again. Number 3 helping the pace car along and get these pace laps out of the way. Looks like the pace car has got the lights out, so we'll get back underway here with 32 laps of the 130 being completed. Only a couple, about 6 drivers still have a spare vehicle to use. Everyone else has used them up. Only car out of the race is Mr. Sims in the 47. All right, getting ready to go back at the green flag racing. Once again, there goes our pace car. A little right side damage on that 33 machine. 3 into 33 bring us back to the green flag. 3 back in front of the 33, followed by the number 99 and Mr. Shelton, the 79 of Rule, and the 12 Abrazo. As we're back under the green flag with 32 laps being worked here. Front 3 breakaway at Dover. You have pretty much single file throughout the racetrack. Drivers who have not pitted, the 2 McCains, the 3 into 33, Brule, Brazo, and Bisnet have yet to pit. Everybody else has been down at least one time. .35 laps being worked here as we cross the stripe, 35 down. About over a quarter of the race has been completed. The 3, the 33, the number 99, and a nice little breakaway here. And the 79 about a second and a half behind. Back here, the 66 getting underneath the number 59 of Downham. Gonna back it off, let him go. Come back to each other right here at the back stretch. Gonna look again. Gonna get underneath here, the 59 way high up the racetrack. The 66 looking to take the low side. Gonna be a drag race off the corner. Camry looking low again. They're side by side going back to the back stretch. Another lap of a drag strip down. Continue to watch these two go at it. 66 backs up a little. Still side by side. Advantage now to the 66 of Burlew. As the 59 drives it in a little deeper there. Is continuing to fight for that position. It's the 9th spot. In the wall up there is the 59. Oh, contact. And around they both go. Looks like they might have collected the inside of a little help there. Looks like both of those drivers have already used their faster pairs. We'll try to get back again. We'll get these guys under. Look here. We were watching them. They were side by side throughout most of the corners and the straightaways. The 59 up into the wall there. Comes down. And it looks like that car there was squeaked by. under a caution again. The Michael's checking in. And like I said, lots of drivers, having used up their cars, don't have much in the way of getting a reset. Top 2 drivers have been the McCains, both pretty much the entire time. And the rule in the 4th spot and the 5th spot of Brazo have not pitted. The driver who has pitted once is Shelton, who pitted back on lap 7. We're on lap number 42 of the 130 scheduled for tonight's race here at Dover, the 130 miles. All right, 42 of the 130 have completed. The pace car lights are still on. We're collecting up all the things on the racetrack from the last caution that was brought out. All right, going to get back to racing here as the caution lights are out on the race car, or the pace cars, I should say, not the race car. And in the backstretch, we're completing lap 44 to start 45 of the 130 with only one driver out. That's the 47 of Sims. Other drivers who are still putting some laps in with some damage. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 7 drivers still with a spare car. Everyone else has used it up, so a little less than half have a car left. McCain continues to lead to 3, has the most laps led thus far of the 45. quarter of the way for this first playoff race, the Miles 130 at Dover. You see the playoff contenders all in the top 10. Currently, as you see there on the scoring pylon, all the drivers of the P after their name are in playoff contention. Side-by-side battle between the 99 and the 33. Keep an eye on them. McCain and Shelton. Looks like Shelton gets around. First time I believe we've seen anyone other than the two McCains in the 1-2 spot. The 99 setting his sights on the back of the McCain in the 3 car. Remind everyone that tonight's coverage is sponsored by Back Talk. You check them out, Back Talk, on any of the places that you get your podcast. Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. Check those guys out. The sponsors of the Tyler Daniel Gas and Go series as we're starting playoff race number 1 at Dover. Well, the number 99 has his sight set on the 3. About a couple car lengths separate the two as we're now past lap 50. So another driver disconnecting number 66 of Burlew. Front 3 breakaway all the way back next 79. 2 seconds behind this group is Mr. Rule. No speed in these top 3 cars, the 3, the 99, and the 33. Back here and see what action we have back here for the 6th spot. So the number 28 getting underneath the 12 side by side in the corner, give the spot to the 28 of Jim Downham. Now onto the back stretch he goes. And catching up to the next group. Good 3.5 seconds now between the leaders and the 4th car, the 79 of Rule. They're continuing now to sort things out. Single file here. 55 of the 130 being completed as we hit the back stretch. Catching up a lap car. That's the number 7 of Andy Schorner. And they get around him, and then the top 3 continue to pace the field here. 56 of 130 are down. About 20 laps short of halfway. With 3 about 7 car lengths ahead of Shelton, the number 99, as we continue to work the track here. Shelton in the 2nd spot behind there, 58 laps down for the first playoff race for the Back Talk sponsored TDR Gas and Go. The number 10 of Luke DeJarden and the number 12 of Brazo now side by side coming into the backstretch. Back for the 10th spot. Give it up to Luke. Takes the 10th position. 12 tucks in behind him with the number 90 of Cochran behind them. About 5 laps shy of halfway here, working lap 60. Put that down, 60 laps down. McCain working top side now. One of the different characteristics of this track, coming off of turn 4, a little bit of a bump, and drivers have described coming into each of these corners the feeling that the car drops into the corner because of the change in elevation from the stretch, the back and front stretch, onto the corners. And that's usually what upsets the cars, and you see them gut up into the turn 4 fence. It looks like Shelton got a little bit of the fence that time, as now McCain moving out to a 6/10 lead, catching up to the back of the number 69. He comes around him quite easily down low. Now 7/10 back to the second spot. Well, cars getting around lap traffic fairly easily. Looking around for another race here. The McDonald and Jim Downham, really the number 1 business as well in this little pack. A little bit of action here. Like that number 04 of McDonald taking the high line. Trying to get around the outside of the 28. We're going to drag race down the back stretch. The 04 has the advantage. Give the advantage to McDonald into the 6th spot. Number 1 working around that 28 of Downham. He'll get around as well. Just past the halfway mark here, with McCain leading the way, a good second ahead of the second place car, the 33 of K McCain. Oh no, engine just get let loose right there in front of the race leader. That was maybe the 66, or not, was the 66. Trying to see who that was. That was the 59 of Jay Downham. The engine expired, and he already has used his fast repair. Gets off the track, and no cautions. It'd be the end of his night. So 12 cars on the lead lap, as McCain is continuing to put the cars down the field, down the lap. The next car in jeopardy is the number 12, who's 17.5 seconds behind the race leader. Race leader is running 23 seconds, about 6 seconds ahead. We'll see how this plays out, as we just completed lap 69 of the 130 here. Last flag flew at lap 44. So about 27 laps have been put down on this green stint. What happened to Jay? Expired engine. The number 59 had an engine go and did not have another car. Happened a little while ago.
Hello. How are you, Harold? This
Hey.
is Jay here in the booth. I usually broadcast these things, and
Oh.
yep, my engine done blowed it up.
Blowed up. All right. Yeah, I figured, we got people asking what happened to Jay, and I'm like, well, I saw the engine go boom, and it might have scared the three a little bit because, he was like right there with you.
Yeah, no, I was going on the bottom side of Andy, just trying to get around. I saw that the leaders were coming up, and it just blew. So I just tried to get out of the way as quick as I could. But yeah, no, Brian's out there putting down some heck of a laps out there, and McCanns are always on top of these things. So it's going to be a nice little race coming up here, surely.
Well, yeah, he's definitely got he's got a 1.2 second lead over, I guess that's his brother, I believe.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Kevin McCann.
Okay, so-
Second.
Yeah,
And then you got Ryan.
Yep, and Shelton, the number 99. So,
Yep, Brian Shelton, David Trumbley, Chuck McDonald, Andrew Bisnett, Thomas Rule III, Dustin Valdez, and Jim Downham, who's my brother, Luke Desjardins, who is not the only one in the top 10 now and not in the playoff spot. If you see the little P next to him, they're in the playoffs. So,
yep.
not sure where you are, but yeah, I'm up here with the rest of the booth. If you don't mind, I can join you and I can
That's
help
fine.
call the rest of this race home.
Well, that works out because, unfortunately, I don't know all the drivers, and with the nicknames, with only seeing their first initial, I'm like, man, this is going to be difficult because I don't have a sheet in front of me of what all their first names are, So I'll have to talk to Andy throughout the week, and we'll get this fixed so it'll look a little bit better on the overlays, and we'll be able to call them a little better. But it's fine. It's the
Right.
first race for the playoffs on One to Go Studios. We covered here 77 laps of 130 as the number 3 continues to pace the field. Almost a 2-second lead over Kevin, his brother. But they've pretty much been 1-2 of the whole race. I haven't seen really much difference than that. Had the 99 up there for a little bit.
Yeah, notice we are the class of the field. Brian McCann, Kevin McCann, and Ryan Shelton have been leading the way. In fact, they were the points leaders coming into tonight at Dover, and it's a tough race out there. Obviously, Dover is a tough little track to get around. It's a monster mile, and as you can see, it's already bitten quite a few of us as people have been flipping and a lot of avoidance tonight. But yeah, finally my car let go, but and so did Justin Sims, who also crashed out. Andy Shaner's he's just been caught up in everybody else's stuff tonight, so tough for him. Bobber Ballou just squeezed me a little bit going into turn number 1, and he's now 22 laps down in the repair. So
yeah, definitely a lot of race cars have used up that fast repair, the reset, and those people that have listened to my One to Go broadcast. There's one guy I used to talk to all the time when I raced back with NASCAR 2003. Dale Jr. used to tell us, it's not that bad, just hit the reset button.
yeah, that's right. And this one here, you do have the reset button, and unfortunately, just getting caught up in a whole bunch of stuff early. I tried to hold on to my fast repair, but just getting caught up in a couple incidents early, it's impossible to use that and maintain at least some pace tonight. So but no, it's been a really good race out there on the track. As you see, Brian McCann just he's putting a hurting on his brother there, and they're running 1-2, but
he's just
been
definitely out there. He's just, like you said, pacing everyone. And now we're going to come down pit. I was going to wonder how long they could do pits because it's been about 40 laps that we've had under green, and they hadn't pitted at all. This is the first time Brian has come down.
Yeah, he's going to come down. He's going to get his, I don't think he has any damage, so he's going to just probably get 4 tires. You're going to definitely need tires tonight, fill it up with fuel, and then go back out. And he's can take it to the end now, so he's very good at saving his equipment.
So he got about, what was the fuel window since you were in the car?
To be honest, I really don't know. I was listening to my crew chief let me know when I was in. I was more concentrating on just riding it hard. So
okay, well, that's fair. That's fair.
It was about 92 full when last time I looked, going down the green flag on a fuel. full fuel load. So 92, but your time you hit the gas, go through the gears. Some guys are shifting out there. I was actually driving around a little bit in fourth gear for a little while. I was able to maintain if you go in fifth, it kind of tightens that car up a little bit. And I think a lot of guys are experiencing in the very beginning, but there are some people that are shifting out there from fifth to fourth down in the corners.
So was this your first race with the next gen Cup car on Dover?
Yes, it's the first time that we have been here in the next gen Cup car. So it's been an experience. We've been out there in the Xfinity car, but this is the first time in the next gen car. So it's a learning experience for everybody out there.
Yeah, this season we've seen that in all the races we cover with the next gen Cup car. As we get to different races, even in fixed setups, it's proved to be a unique car. I mean, it handles really good in some times, but we've seen a lot of net code brought into things, and we've also seen a rash of cars getting wicked tight and then turning into a wicked loose condition immediately. So you see the guys left, and then you see the car snap, and then you see him whip it right and usually take it right up into the wall. So it's been a learning curve for everyone. Even in the regular NASCAR series, nobody has any data on this car.
I mean, it is new for 22. Everything is new everywhere we go. Everybody learns a lot. We do have experience in the car. Today we did run a 500 miler at Talladega before the actual race today in these cars. And it's pretty accurate as far as the drafting goes, because it was pretty interesting to see how we went early in the day, and we drafted to two lines, and the outside would go, and then we'd lose momentum. And I mean, so as far as iRacing getting these cars right, I mean, they're pretty accurate. So.
We at One to Go Studios, we're supposed to be, and we haven't got the official ticketing credentials in our hands, but we're supposed to be the guests of the newly formed Roush Keselowski Fenway group, or Roush Fenway Keselowski, however you want to say it. I don't like saying RFK because it reminds me of Washington Redskins.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to get used to that, and that analogy definitely out of your head. But no, I understand. That's great. I mean, that's awesome for you guys to do that, and we appreciate One to Go coming out and broadcasting these events and through the playoffs. So it's great to hear somebody else up here. And I see Chuck McDonald. He kind of stayed out. He took a pit early, but Chuck likes to take it down. He stays back as much as he can. His motto is position through attrition. So, and that's how he won one of the races this year. And as you can see, we got 40 laps left and out front. But it's going to fade in quickly to Andrew Bisnet behind him.
Well, you're saying that they can go 90 some odd laps, so he could be on that, hey, I'm going to take this thing to the end, and he hits the wall there as the 3 comes around him.
Yeah, he's just trying to stay out of the way. Chuck, like I said, he's positioned through attrition, and he saves his equipment. He's usually slower than the normal pace, but he can get more laps out of it and save his car a lot more. And as you can tell, when everybody pitted, he did gain up on the leader, and he's still holding, just about 2 seconds. As you see Andrew Bisnet coming up on him behind him now.
Yeah, the second spot, and then Business and him are both on the same stint as well. And then you got to go back to, looks like Velhusen. Is that how we say it?
Yeah, Dustin Valdez. Yes, yeah. Dustin is, and he's been doing really well lately. So Dustin is one of our admins out there, and
he's got 70 laps on his stint, and I see 92 laps for Brazo in the 12. They've been out there the whole time. No pit.
Greg, oh yeah, I mean that's one of those. He's another one of our Canadian drivers. So you got Chuck McDonald, you have Luc Desjardins, Greg Brazeau are our Canadian drivers out here, and so Greg Brazeau is not pitted yet. I would assume he'd have to come in soon. So we had quite a few pit stops, so I would probably look about lap 1 to 101 if he can stretch it out long enough with the
gambling for the yellow hanky to come out, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's been flying quite a bit tonight, that's for sure.
In the beginning, yeah, but then attrition, as you said, that Mr. McDonald here talking about attrition, and I kind of usually, a lot of the league races that I've been in, I kind of do the same thing. I sit back, let the race kind of come up to me. It's my motto is always to finish first you must finish.
That is very true, and that is a motto that we all take into consideration. No quitting, no matter what. So unless something happens like tonight did, but like I said, it's great to be up here and up here calling the race with you. And yeah, it's a shame that what happened to the XM Ford thing, but hey, there's always next week. Hopefully, I can salvage some points tonight and go into next week and start fighting for that top 12.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
constantly a points battle, and like even in NASCAR, we've had people ask, how come he went back out there and he knew he was slow? And it's like, well, if you get one position, those points matter. So
Absolutely, every position matters out there tonight, and that's what makes this race interesting. And that's why people are pushing it a little bit further than they need to.
Mm.
So Chuck, I think if he did pit during that second caution, he should have enough to get through to the very end.
Yeah, I'm showing his stint at 55. So he's got 55 laps currently on his car. But that would have been, so he would have 42-ish laps when he pitted. Or they're about 42. And you said it's about 100 or just shy of 100 that they could go. So he can go the distance, but do the tires last long enough to, not let the group of the 3 and the 33, we were only about 14 seconds behind him.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's going to probably be the difference here. But if you did take fresh tires, I mean, you got Brian McCann and Kevin McCann, and they're about 14 seconds behind. So, I mean, he's got a pretty good lead right now, but it's just got to see how much it's shrinking lap after lap on those older tires compared to the newer tires, and traffic as well, because traffic is going to play effect out here tonight.
Yeah, 0.7 to 0.8 of a second per lap being changed up by Brian McCain and Kevin McCain coming up behind him. So you were talking, so the difference is 14 or 13 now, about 20 laps, and we have 30 left. So this could get interesting towards the last 10.
That's right, and barring any cautions. If cautions come out, then that's going to totally change everything.
Squeezes the pack all back together again. It's like, hey, we're back.
That's right, but as you can see, there's 6 guys on the lead lap right now, and 7 is Cochran is now, I guess, 7 as Robert Cochran out there is the last car on the
right.
So then you got 2 back to Thomas Rule, Jim Downs 2 laps down, Bradley Hunt is also 2 laps down, Greg Brazzo, I think he just pitted because he was out there, he's now 3 laps down, David Trumbley, Ryan Shelton looks like he's in the pits right now, and Bob Berlew, Andy Shaner, and then rounds out the field, top 15 tonight.
Yep,
so far, as we roll in with 102 of 130, so 28 laps left, and it's going to be interesting. When is Andy going to make his move? Because I think Andy is one to save gas as well, but he's not one for saving tires. So that's going to be a nice one to look at. As you got Dustin coming in the picture now, closing that gap on Andrew Bisnet.
And Facebook, we're here seeing the chat talking about Ross Chastain winning at Talladega today in the next gen Cup car.
Yes, the Watermelon Man, and believe it or not, he is right across the river from where I live. So he is from my neck of the woods. So it's really great to see a hometown boy from Alva. I'm from Fort Myers, so he's literally his farm is right across the river. If I was to walk up my street, toss a rock across the river, that's where his farm is at. So it's good to see a hometown boy bring home the win, second win of the season. So yeah, Fort Myers definitely cheering on Ross Chastain.
That's good. And we have a young man who flags near Fort Myers that races on a Friday night league that we work with, and he usually runs Ross's watermelon truck when he's out there. So
yep, got to go for the homeboys, the hometown heroes. You see Greg Brazeau, there's where you're seeing the tires that are actually taking break as Greg Brazeau gets around Chuck McDonald.
Yep. We got a little bit of grouping back here at Adam Bizet getting around the 7 of Andy Schroner there.
Shaner's got a beat up car, and you got there's Andrew Bisnet, and like I said, traffic is going to come to an effect there. I'm not sure, is that the 73? That's Thomas Rule.
Yep.
And that 79 car coming around, and he must have pitted as well. As you see, Andrew is just, they're playing the tire. Oh, he gets a little bit loose there, and then right behind that is the 23 car of Dustin Valdez, who is on the hunt to chase down Andrew Bisnet. See him right at the top of your screen there.
And the 23 car here, yep.
Yep, that's Dustin Valdez, and he's chasing down. He's still hanging out within, yeah, a second or two behind Andrew Biznett. So there's really not too much going right now. But 107, these guys maybe just trying to get to the very end, save their tires, save their equipment, and with the tire wear going, you could see how much it really played into effect. Probably about a second or two a lap from the newer tires to the older tires. As you see Brian McCann there getting underneath Bob Gurulu, and he is the one that's going to be. Brian McCann is the one that's on the hunt now to get back that top position, as he's now back in fourth spot, 9 seconds behind with just coming up to 20 laps left. So it's going to be a chase to the finish here.
And he's got enough time.
Yep.
Has he got enough time? That's what he's probably thinking in the back of his head. He's like, all those cautions we had, I could use one right about now.
Right, and they did pit around lap 89, 90. So as you can see, we're at lap 109. So it's not a big of a gap as you would expect. And Chuck's doing a real good job keeping it out front. If anything, if Brian does happen to catch him, he's going to have a good night. So.
Yeah, there's top 5 there: McDonald, Biznett, Veldhuizen, McCain, and McCain. Your top 5 here.
Yeah, McCann.
McCann.
It's McCann. The McCann brothers. Yeah, right.
So I'll have to learn these things again. And all the broadcasts that I do, we tend to have a channel in our Discord that says name pronunciations. Help out the broadcaster. Because I just go by what I see, and I was in the military for a while, so I'm usually not too far off. But
right? No, you're not. You're doing really well up here, considering what they gave you up here. But no, I figured I'd come up here and give you a little bit of a hand and help call these guys that I was racing with tonight. So is Brian? No, he's on the hunt. He's down to 8 seconds, so 7 seconds. So it is going to be. He does have that opportunity to chase him down. Looks like he poured on the heat, got around a couple of lap cars and fresh traffic. As you see, Chuck McDonald his car is starting to fade a little bit. Andrew Biznett is now back to 3 seconds, but there's also a lot of traffic in between Chuck McDonald and Andrew Biznett.
Yep.
And Dustin Valdez has now caught Andrew.
That could be probably our next little battle here, as you see. But now I'm going to ask you about the turn 4, the bump. How bad is that on this car? Because I know most of the drivers who's done iRacing or who's actually raced this track, you got that bump in 4, coming off of 4, getting out of the back, off of the front stretch. It's right about the middle of the track. You either go below it or above it, but you usually don't like going through it.
Yeah, no, if you hit it just right, it will upset the car a little bit. But once you run it a few times and you know where it's at, you can pretty much know where to avoid it. So it's all muscle memory from there. But yeah, that's one thing that you don't want to hit. It doesn't upset the car too awfully bad. But if you hit it just right, I'm sure it can throw you up towards that wall. Definitely.
I was explaining to the people earlier about that the drivers, and I've talked to a lot of the real life drivers, and they say the feeling of falling into the corners here.
Yeah, that's it, and exactly what it is. It's like falling off and you're going from hopping, you're just sitting. I mean, and that throws you into that seat in real life there, right there in turns number 1 and 2, and then also in 3, that fall off feeling, because it does drop down into that 36-degree banking.
You see, I hear the battle beating up here between the 23 and the 1, about 3/10, about 3 car lengths behind.
Yeah, he's got about 3/10, and they're slowly catching up. I'm wondering if anything, but you see Brian McCann coming in the picture right now, and he's going to come up and battle for that 4 spot. So Dustin, I'm not sure if he's feeling that pressure, but he is on older tires. Brian McCann is on the fresher tires by about 30 laps. So here we go. Brian McCann's going to take it to the bottom, get underneath Dustin. They're just going to let him go, and looks like they're just going to points race and see if they can go. Brian McCann clearly clears him coming out, and he's back up in the 2nd spot. 5 seconds behind Chuck McDonald as he's chasing him down, and he is on a roll. He is tearing this track up, trying to get to that front.
He definitely wants to get back in that spot that he held for so long. Definitely locked up the most laps led, I can tell you that.
And you got a lot of lap traffic here to contend with. As you see, there's Robert Cochran now, and Bradley Hunting at 69 and beat up cars, and he is tearing it up. He is definitely on the hunt now, going after Chuck McDonald, and they're coming up with 10 to go. So does he have enough there? 5 seconds. You can get it done, and he does look like he is really just tearing it up. Kevin McCann is 1 second behind, so his brother is chasing him down as they passed Andrew and Dustin as well. So that's a nice little shot, chasing down the leader at 4 seconds.
Yeah, we're just looking here and kind of listening to the throttle control of Mr. Brian McCann. Is that what you're saying? McCann? Not McCain?
McCann, yep. Yep,
McCann can. Okay, all right.
McCann can. If anybody can, the McCanns can. So
all right, that'll work.
one way to remember that. As we're coming up on the lap car here, Thomas Rule. Thomas Rule's going to let him take that bottom side coming out at turn number 2. That's going to slow him up a little bit, and that just enough. Maybe, I don't know. If there's lap traffic, may be the only difference is we got 9 to go. As Chuck McDonald is really, he's sitting in pretty right now, so it's going to be a good battle here for this last couple of laps going into it. 5 to go. He's got 1 second, just under a second a lap. He's got to make up to take over that top spot, and you know he's hungry. He doesn't like to lose. So Brian is on the hunt, and he's definitely chasing him down.
Going to need to get more than the 0.2 per lap there. That was the last lap, but he was contending with the lap traffic. Slowed him down some. We'll see what he does on this lap.
So ran 23.8, and Chuck ran a 24.122. So it's really not that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be tough here. You got 6 laps to go this time by.
3.5 seconds as you see that ticking down there.
He brought it down from 14 to under 4, so it's going to be a tight little battle coming down for that top spot, and I'm not sure if Chuck's going to just let him take it or if he's going to actually fight for the win tonight. It'd be nice to see Chuck actually get up there and fight him for the win, or if he's going to just get in the way of Brian if he catches him.
Well, they always say that it's one thing to catch, another to overtake.
That is very true.
You make this car as big as you can make it. It's like,
yeah, you make the track as wide as you can make it, and as the leader, it's his job to get around you. As they're under 3 seconds to go, 5 laps left. It's slowly getting there, but you also got lap traffic to contend with, and I'm sure is that 96 car, that might be David Trumbley that he's trying to get around right now. And David Trumbley is a tough guy to get around, so he may not be letting him go that easy as well.
5 laps to go. As we see that ticker there, 2.5 seconds between race leader of McDonald as Mr. McCann trying to get back up there to reclaim the top spot.
And he's got to contend with lap traffic here, so that lap traffic is definitely holding him up because he was catching him down, and now kind of maintained pace there for the last few times. As see, Brian's going to dive down to the inside, get around that lap car there. So now it's 2 seconds, just a little over 2 seconds, 4 laps left. So this may be Chuck McDonald's race. Well, we got 2 seconds. Hey, catching them 2. It's right there. It's holding on in between 101. Just got it under 1 second there, but lap traffic is definitely going to play. It's got to get another car. It's got to get around here. And they're just going to let him go by on the high side. That's Greg Brazeau. Here's Chuck. He's got a nice comfortable space around him, and I'm sure you can see that yellow. There's the blue and yellow car at the, so just over 3/4 of a straightaway in between Brian McCann with 2 laps left. Chuck McDonald is on a tear. It's awesome to see him come out here tonight and use that strategy, and it looks like got 1 lap to go, 1.3 seconds. I don't know if he can catch him.
Well, they say catch him is one thing, pass is another. 1 to go, presented by One to Go Studios here with your race leader, the number 04 of Chuck McDonald. And doing a great job of getting that car around here to keep that cushion. 1.1 seconds as he gets the final corners.
Comes down in the 3 and 4, and he's going to have one heck of a run. Congratulations to Chuck McDonald. He holds on and gets the win over Brian McCann. So that is a huge victory tonight for Chuck McDonald over Brian McCann. Kevin McCann comes home 3rd. Great race there. Oh, man. Luke Desjardins, who is not a points leader, but came up here and took up the points, came home 4th. So great run by Luke Desjardins. Andy Biznett brings it home 5th. Robert Cochran 6th, Thomas Rule the 3rd, and 7th. 8th was Dustin Valdez, and he must have stopped because he was up there fighting with Andrew last time we saw. 9th was Jim Downham, so he's had a nice points run. 10th, David Trumbley. 11th, Greg Brazeau. 12th, Bradley Hunt. 13th was Bob Burlew. 14th, Ryan Shelton. 15th was Andy Shaner. And then the gentleman out of the race was myself, Jay Downham, Justin Sims, and Benjamin Richards. So congratulations, Chuck. That was one heck of a run. One heck of a run by Chuck tonight.
All right, so there's two of the three guys winning there in the 0-4. And
Chuck is burning it down.
Yeah.
And he deserves it. Wow, what a race tonight. So that's awesome to see. And you see Brian McCann there. He's had one heck of a run up there. It made it very interesting, but just could not overcome that lead that Chuck accumulated there. So as they both burn it down on the front stretch here. Awesome. Awesome job by everybody. All right.
Well, I'm not able to move anybody, so.
Okay, let's see if I can somebody down here.
Because I was a driver for the TDR veterans group, so we thought, Mandy and I talked before the race, thought I had the role I needed, but apparently I don't.
Right, okay, well, let's see if I can move Chuck down here. All right, let's see if we can move our race winner down here and get a chat with him as he takes his victory lap, Polish victory lap. Chuck McDonald is up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do, sir. How are you?
Good. Great win. What a strategy you had tonight. Congratulations. I mean, for taking on the top dogs, your position through attrition paid off tonight. Big, huge win tonight over Brian McCann. Tell us your thoughts on the race tonight, bud.
Well, my heart's still pumping. That's all I got to say. It's a good day to be a birthday boy.
Well, happy birthday. So that's one heck of a way to celebrate your birthday, getting a
Oh,
Yes, sir.
it was like Jay went bye-bye. Somebody pulled him up into the spotter area. Oh, he's back. Jay's back.
Yeah, for some reason I got kicked out there. But no.
Somebody took you somewhere else. That's what happened. You got abducted by aliens.
Telling you, the aliens tonight. But
No, it's that last caution that came out. I just wanted to be at the back of the pack because I expected another one was going to come out. So I pitted and changed some tires and filled up with fuel, and it just worked out.
well, that's great. Congratulations. You're going into the next race with the points lead, so you should be solid going into the playoffs.
Daytona. Yeah, so I hope so. It's Daytona, so we'll see what happens. I mean, anything can happen there, but
Yeah, anything can happen at those restrictor plate tracks, and but I always thought maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think these cars, they don't dance like the other ones do. They seem like they're more stable in the pack racing at Daytona and Dega.
well, I find if you're out front, they're pretty stable, but when you get into the pack, they do tend to dance around a bit, side by each. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And here, I mean, all it was here is I just backed up my braking. I was diamonding the turns, I guess, and just save some fuel. That's all I was doing, was saving fuel and saving tires.
Well, the strategy definitely worked out for you. The race, the guy who had all the laps led, Brian McCann, and McCann was coming, but he just ran out of time. It was a good job with the strategy. Good call by the crew chief, and I'm sure you definitely got a lot of people that you want to thank for the victory with the checkered flag tonight.
I just want to thank everybody, really, all the guys in TDR for helping out and encouraging, and they do help out quite a bit. I'd like to thank the McCanns for giving me something to shoot for, too. That was the whole goal, was to beat a McCann, and tonight I did.
All right. It's a great way to get a checkered flag while you did it. That's even better.
Yes, sir. It's all good.
So congratulations on your
on to Michigan tomorrow night, I think, with the veterans race now, too.
All right.
There you go. So if those are not familiar, you can come out and watch Chuck again, try and take another victory this weekend in the Vets and First Responders League tomorrow. That's also cast on YouTube. On Back to Sports. So Chuck, congratulations. Wonderful win. Glad to see it paid off for you. That's victory number 2 in the TDR. So congratulations on that. Way to go. Good start to the playoff season, and it was wonderful to watch you out there racing around tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thanks for broadcasting it. We do appreciate your time.
All right, thanks. All right, let's try to get with the second place car, that Spartan number 3 car right here.
Move Chuck back down, and he can celebrate with the guys. And let's see if I can get Brian McCann up here. Let's see if we can move him to. All right, let's see. Talking to our second place points. Brian, this is Jay up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How's it going?
Good. How are you, man? That was one heck of a run to chase down Chuck. Just couldn't get it done tonight. Tell us about your race tonight.
Yeah, I only had a couple more laps there, I think. But yeah, it was a good call on Chuck's part. Me and my brother Kevin, we were debating, when to pit, and there were so many cautions there early. We didn't want to really go back to the back and start in the back, and so we were waiting to pit, and looks like we waited a little bit too long.
Did lap traffic have any effect on getting to Chuck? It looked like you got held up behind Trumbley there for a little bit. I think that was a difference tonight, or do you think it was just you pitted a little bit too late?
What was a second or two from Chuck? No, I don't think I lost that much time behind Trumbley. I don't think anybody really held me up there, so it was Chuck just made the right call there.
Well, absolutely, and well, congratulations. I mean, bringing home second. I know it's not the win that you were looking for. I mean, you had one heck of a car out there tonight. You led pretty much the entire race there, except for the end. Chuck just got you on strategy tonight, so maybe you can take that going into next week. But you're solidly second in the points, so that's good going into the playoffs here.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
All right, any sponsors you want to thank tonight?
I just want to thank my wife and my family, everybody watching here tonight, you guys for doing the broadcast, and everybody that puts on the show over at TDR. Thank you.
All right, but not a problem. Congratulations on second. I'm going to get you down there with your other drivers so we can celebrate that move. And yeah, I mean, one heck of a race in between everybody tonight out there. It was most entertaining the first part, and then the second part, everybody settled in for sure. Is there anybody else you'd like to speak to tonight?
Well, let's try to see if we can get a hold of Kevin, and we'll get with the top 3, and then we'll, if anybody else that you might want to talk to, be fine. Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if we can get Kevin up here in the booth. Kevin, this is Jay up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Kevin, that was one heck of a run. You were running with your brother. You guys saw you had 1 and 2 wrapped up, and then Chuck came in and spoiled the party on his birthday. I hope you all wish him happy birthday, because that was the one present that he wanted. But if you wouldn't mind walking us through your race, that'd be great.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to Chuck. I think that was a long time coming for him there. I got to say, every race I've ever done at Dover, I feel like has been won on fuel strategy. And, it's just, I don't know what it is about this track, but it just, it produces some great strategy racing. So kudos to him. He got it right tonight. I obviously got it wrong, and I kind of followed my brother's suit there on the pit strategy, and just, didn't pit quite early enough there to be able to run him down. But, throughout the night, it was a difficult track to run. It changed pretty much throughout the whole course of the race there. Started out a little loose in the beginning, got tight towards the end. We were doing a lot of tire saving on the right front, just trying to plan for those longer green flag runs there that we eventually got to there toward the end. But overall, it was a good fun race. I think you saw a little bit of everything tonight. We started pushing pretty hard there on that last restart, and had some good battles up front. And we saw the fuel strategy play out, and can't really complain walking away third here. This is probably one of my worst tracks, so I'll take it all day long.
Right, solid points day, solid run. You looked good. You were hanging out there with Brian, but like I said, Chuck just had the right strategy call tonight. So, but sitting solid in third in points behind your brother there, going into next week. So that's awesome. Any sponsors or anybody you'd like to thank while you're on in the booth tonight?
I'll just thank the guys that put on the league, Andy, Dustin, everybody, that do the work here, bring everybody out every Sunday. It's fun to race with these guys. And thank you guys for coming on and doing the broadcast.
Not a problem. It's our pleasure. Do you have anything for him, Darter?
Not man. These guys were, for the beginning of the race, it was just the 3 and the 33, the 3 and the 33. It was pretty much you swap position. You had the pole, and your brother took basically right off the bat took the lead. You guys looked pretty good out there. I mean, you guys kept the cars clean, and you showed the right way around Dover. How to take that corners each way and letting the car take what it can get, and other than the early cautions, I mean that really had to play a role on it. I mean, how did that work for you? And a lot of we had several in the first third of the race, and then it started to spread out. So.
Yeah. I had a really good short run speed. I felt like my brother, this track really suits his driving style. He has always been an alien, is what I call it, in any kind of track that is where you need to save the right front tire. And this really suited his style. So I knew he was going to beat me in the long run. I didn't quite expect him to get around me so easily early on. I thought it would at least lead a few laps, but once that happened, he got in front. I knew it was over, and I at least knew he was going to stay in front, especially on the long run. But the cautions were throwing us for a loop there. We were discussing it quite a bit there after we got to about lap 30 or so, like trying to decide, when were we going to come in and pit? We were looking at the lap times. We were still running within like a 1/10 of our qualifying time. So, we knew that tire fall off was going to fall off soon. We just didn't know how soon. And, also trying to guess what the guys were going to do behind us. And I think we probably made the wrong call there on lap 42. That's when the eventual winner pitted. Most of the guys pitted, I think, about 9th on back. But it's just one of those things. We were gambling on some more cautions coming out, and they didn't, and that got the best of us tonight.
Right. Well, congratulations once again on a P3 podium where you've been sitting pretty much all season to get you in the hunt, and now you're sitting P3 going into next week. So. Very good run. I'll put you back down with the boys. We'll see you next week. So good luck with the rest of the season here.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So let's go over the official results for tonight. You had McDonald to be the winner, McCann second and third. Did you I was thinking it was Desjardins, and you said what is it, Luke?
It's Desjardins.
Desjardins. Okay.
Yes, he is French Canadian. So Luke Desjardins.
There you go. See, I'm not Canadian, and French was not my class, so I'm gonna have some problems here. Bisnet, Cochran, and Rule the third. Velhusen and Downham. That's Downham is you guys, right? Downham and then Trumbley were the top 10, and then we go to Brazo, Hunt, Burlew, Shelton, Schoner.
Shaner.
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 Yeah, I see Schoner there.
Yeah, it's Shaner.
He'll get me. Jay, you got the 16th spot, Sims 17th, and then Benjamin Richards. And I did not get this in because you kind of, when you came up, I wasn't expecting it, so it kind of got me for a little bit of surprise. But we'll do the race summary. And I got one more thing to do. We got McDonald was the winner, but 5 cautions for 18 laps. That was pretty much the beginning of the race. 18 drivers took to the track, and the fastest was Kevin McCain with the 33, 22.907. I'm going to send the Bigfoot across the board here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There he goes. He goes across the racetrack, and we're going to give the One to Go Studios Hard Luck Award, which is this right here. Bam, there it is. The Sasquatch Hard Luck Award tonight goes to Jay Sims. Is that correct, Jay? Can I see the J?
Yeah,
Justin Sims. Okay. So Mr. Sims, if you send me a direct message with your mail address, we'll send you out one of those coins at One to Go Studios. The bottle opener on the backside is the Sasquatch Hard Luck Award, something we do for One to Go Studios. I'd like to give it to the first driver that is out for something that he really didn't cause. And Mr. Sims was involved in 2 separate incidents that basically just got his car out of whack, and the second one took out his engine, and he'd already taken his fast repair. So we'll give that award, the Sasquatch Hard Luck Award, going out to Sims in the 47. So with that being said, we're going to be going on to a crazy track. We're going to go to Daytona next week, and we'll rack them up again. And with these cars. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of races. Again, next till I don't know what to say with the next Cup because it's, almost every time I do a race with those, it's the first one or the second one. Not a lot of experience, and I've done iRacing for quite some time. So the older cars I like, because I know what to expect with the trucks. I know what to expect with the speed car. And we see these, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. They don't have a lot of experience. So we'll see what you guys put together for that. And appreciate you coming up into the booth. And, unfortunately, you didn't have a luck with the car. And this track is wide enough to be good for racing, but I don't know. Every time the car gets turned, it's like everybody finds it.
Yeah, it's one of those sweeping tracks. It's top to bottom. There's really nowhere to run unless you're up top. And sometimes if they stay up top, the track gets clogged in a hurry. And sometimes there's just absolutely nowhere to go. I appreciate, the support out there. And, it's too bad that my car blew up. But it was great racing tonight. It was good to see Chuck McDonald bring home that win. That's awesome for him. He's one of those that is sneaky fast. He'll just sneak up on you, kind of like the. Yeah. Well, I can't even think of the guy's name right now, but
Sneaky.
Anyway,
it's always the best.
Fast.
That's the best way to do it. Local track racing. You want to be the guy that nobody talks about until the last lap. Where'd he come from?
No, but he had the right strategy call tonight, and definitely the position to attrition took him to the victory lane. So congratulations to the truck on that. Good to see him out there tonight.
All right, so I'm Harold Darner for One to Go Studios. We'd like to thank our sponsor again one last time. That's our Talk Back. So we see them anywhere that you can check out podcasts. You got the Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You check out those guys. Looks like they had a lot of fun. I haven't had a chance to check them out, but I'll have to do that and I'll have to get back with you. If you're watching us and you haven't checked us out on any of our screen, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, One to Go Studios. We produce content on Friday nights and now Sunday nights with you guys. And then we also run Area iRacing on their Twitch channel Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So, man, for Jay and for Harold, I'm Harold Darner, One to Go Studios, executive producer. Until we see you guys next week, we'll see you guys at the next turn. Have a good night.
What an exciting race brought to you by One to Go Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's one to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see